There are 5 personality types that people obsess over, and if you discover which one best matches your unique individual personality, you will be able to tap into the most confident and charismatic version of yourself. But you must be aware that each type comes with a common pitfall that can wind up pushing people away. So in this video, you're going to find out which type best suits you and learn exactly what pitfalls you need to avoid. The first type is the funny type. If this is you, people like you because you make them laugh.
I like my donuts so fat their holes are closed.
But of course, funny types don't always have to be positive and bubbly. Sometimes their jokes are sarcastic.
You don't have a license?
No.
Okay.
You can't drink and drive, so what's the point?
And sometimes funny types even roast people.
You should not be watching me before you go to bed.
Well,
that's not a good image.
my wife likes it because it acts as a sort of contraceptive. She knows I'm not
Now, while this playful teasing can make people like you, you need to be careful not to make people the butt of your jokes too often, which will alienate them over time. For example, watch Russell Brand pick on Emily Blunt in this next clip.
I had a real close encounter with a shark recently.
Little though, shark.
It wasn't. It was about 6 feet. So
Did it eat people? Was it
well,
that tight?
it wasn't. But why are you trying to diminish my
It's
story?
just the type of fish. You went near a fish.
Let me.
To a funny type, this might seem like just a lighthearted joke, but Emily's defensiveness later suggests that it might have dug a bit too deep.
Thank you. I'm one of you. I'm here for you.
I'm gonna just shit on all of your stories.
So if you are a funny type and you want to do it without making people dislike you, the main thing to focus on is cracking jokes where the punchline builds up the other person, like this.
So whether it's a celebrity or not, it's about the girl, not her occupation.
And how similar to you they are.
Yes, that's what I'm really looking for now.
If you make sure that half or more of your jokes are building other people up, you can use teasing and sarcasm without worrying that you're hurting your friendships. And that brings us to the second type, the energetic type. This type is huge on enthusiasm.
Don't go, Jay! Wow. Don't go, Jay! Don't go, Jay! Don't go, Jay!
Think of anyone who walks into a room and is overwhelmingly positive, optimistic, and big in their body language. If this is you, you're probably breaking social norms without even realizing it, giving big hugs, slapping high fives in situations where most people would quietly introduce themselves and just sit down. You can make an entire room happier just by being there, and it's likely that people call you funny, but it might not be because of the wit that the funny type has. Your mannerisms, like the sound effects and hand gestures that you make when you're telling a story, are a huge part of your particular charm.
So all of a sudden I say, ladies and gentlemen, Ed Sheeran. He pops out. A little red hair and a ukulele.
And again, unlike the funny type, you might tend towards physical reenactment and impressions over witty highbrow humor.
I won a spaghetti bolognese eating competition. They're like, get the nurse. And they called the nurse and she came out, I told you not to do that stupid spaghetti eating competition. And so she gave me whatever they give toddlers when they swallow poison. And then I drank it and just spewed up 4 pounds of spaghetti bolognese.
But of course, there are some pitfalls with this type. First, people might think that you lack depth and find it hard to connect with you. And second, you can come across as obnoxious if you're just being loud and hogging all the spotlight. So if you are an energetic type, that means you need to add elements of this next type to make people really enjoy you over a long period of time. And that type is the empathetic type. If this is you, you value connection above all. You get people to open up and be vulnerable around you because you are often open and vulnerable yourself. Lex Friedman exemplifies this style.
But it hurt when you say you don't trust me. You kind of lost me. I don't think anyone's ever said that to me.
If this is you, you may be more introverted and soft-spoken than the other types. But when people are around you, your eye contact, deep questions, and attentive listening make them feel comfortable and deeply accepted. You can probably even reflect people's own feelings back to them in a way that makes them feel very understood. Oprah was a master of this.
People think, for example, oh, I want to be famous, or I want to be able to sing, or I want to, like for you, I want to be able to act. What you really wanted was to be able to use your voice.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. And so
I don't want black people to be disappointed in me for putting that out there.
no, you didn't want to be disappointed in yourself.
You know what, Oprah? You're right.
Yeah.
Now, connection types are great one-on-one. You probably do amazing in those situations. The pitfall that you're aware of is that it's very easy for people to overlook you in larger social settings. So you're going to want to develop some habits from the next closest charisma types, the one that's closest to your personality, so that you really shine in those larger groups. Moving on to the fourth type, which is almost the opposite of the connection type, is the self-assured type. If this is you, you are extremely high in conviction. People want to follow your lead because you are so certain of what you're saying.
I've been put on this planet to protect wildlife and wilderness areas, which in essence is going to help humanity. I want to have the purest oceans. I want to be able to drink water straight out of that creek. I want to stop the ozone layer. I want to save the world.
Almost everyone is uncertain of themselves, their values, and the future. So they gravitate towards those people who seem to know exactly who they are, what they want, and what is going to happen.
And they're going to be smoked October 6th, live on pay-per-view, and I am going to love every second of it. I hope it's a long night.
The pitfall of this type is that you can often miss opportunities for growth. You are so certain that things are going to go the way that you've imagined that you might overlook your own weaknesses and minimize the competition. So while you look like a phenom when everything is going well, then reality strikes and nothing is certain, and it can come back to smack you in the face. This is why if you lean towards the conviction type, it is best to rest that conviction not on guaranteeing specific outcomes, but on guaranteeing your continued effort. And that brings us to the last type, the authentic type. If this is you, honesty, being real, that's what's paramount. And what's interesting is that people might not like you right away. You might pursue a conflict that most people would sweep under the rug, or share your honest opinion when you know the other person disagrees, like Joe Rogan does here with a political commentator opposed to gay marriage.
I think of marriage is a certain thing, which is the context for procreation, for the building of the nuclear family.
What about people that get married that don't have kids? Are you opposed to that?
Or you might just go off the reservation with a weird sense of humor that the other person maybe doesn't get, but you don't notice.
Why were you going like this with your fingers? You were pushing them up in the air like
holding the world up.
Oh, okay.
Somebody's got to do it because Brendan.
Okay, that's so good.
If this is you, the good news is that people don't like you because every single moment is wonderful, but because they respect your honesty. You're not trying to get people to like you, and that lets people relax in your presence. They can sense that you aren't looking for validation from them, so they can take a deep breath. The pitfall here is that if you are just authentic and you throw everything else out, you might dominate the conversation by talking about things that you care about that nobody else does.
One of the reasons why chimps attack people is because if people give something to someone else and they don't give it to them, they have a real sense of fairness. The evil, vicious jealousy. You know, like you see that vicious jealousy in chimpanzees. Imagine being like out there at the supermarket and you're got your bags, you're moving to your car, and you see 3 chimps running your way. Like, oh no.
So if this is you, you of course want to put authenticity first, but social graces need to be a close second. One thing that will help there is purposely pausing in conversations to create space for the other person to re-opt into the topic that you may be passionately pursuing. Now, of course, the point of identifying these types is not to say that one is better than any other. The point is to give yourself permission to lean in the direction of the type that best matches who you are, not to copy someone else. When you do that, your confidence will naturally radiate out from you and blow people away because it is specific to you. And if you feel like you now know your style and want to make the most of it, you may want to join our course, Charisma University. This is our step-by-step 30-day program that tells you exactly what to do every day to make charisma an unthinking habit. And in the first 5 days, you're going to nail down the charisma type that you most want to lean into with specific, advanced guidance to get the most out of your charisma style. Here are just a few things that some of the past members have said, and this first comment came from just 1 week into the program. My 2 areas of focus are connection and authenticity. While going through the first impressions module, I've been able to get into conversation with people that I never would have before. The lesson on asking questions to draw out values is gold. Thanks to everyone who developed the course, it has already been life-changing, and I can't wait to see what is next. Another member wrote in, I wasn't truly confident. I was constantly seeking validation and cared too much about other people's opinions. But now my life has improved tremendously because of Charisma University. I find it way easier to connect with people, to have great interactions, and to be happy even if things don't go the way I want them to. Taking this course has been one of the most impactful decisions of my life. I cannot recommend it enough. And lastly, one member wrote, "Before Charisma University, I sucked at having conversations and I had low confidence around people. I am way more confident now, having gone through the daily action guides, and I can see a big difference in the attention and respect that I get. It makes life so much more fun. I don't think it's an overstatement to say Charisma is literally a gateway to getting anything you want in life, so thank you for making Charisma University." Everything inside Charisma University is built in an order that is easy to digest and learn, and it takes just 20 minutes a day. The largest difference between what you see here on the YouTube channel and the course is this structure. Charisma University turns charisma into something that you live and you're practicing daily, so it is guaranteed to change your life after just 30 days. And if you take the whole course and don't think it's worth every penny, we actually have a 60-day money-back guarantee. You can give yourself the full refund right from inside the program. So if you want to check out and see if Charisma University is right for you with absolutely no risk, click the link on the screen now or in the description below. Either way, I hope that you enjoy this video, and I will see you in the next one.